Hey guys, we have a really exciting guest today. Hey everyone, it's Dora from flippinghouseandpancakes.com, and we are here in sunny Florida. It's actually really cold today. It's cold and rainy, but we are here in sunny Florida today. And I have a special guest with me. This is Mrs. Gitty Schepansky. She is a real estate agent here in Orlando, Florida, and we're going to talk a little bit about Orlando and the community here and real estate. So, Gitty, I remember years ago, I came here with my husband and my little kid, and there was nothing in the Jewish community. There was we couldn't even get a block of cheese. I couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
There was no shul, there was no school, there was nothing. And I came back maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and suddenly there is an entire community. There's a shul and a school, and there's restaurants, and the grocery store has food. I don't have to bring absolutely everything with me. Totally insane. And I know that you are one of the first families, you and your husband and your kids were one of the first families to really come here besides the Chabad house.
I was just going to say.
Besides the Chabad house, you guys
here.
were the first group here. So can you tell me a little bit about the super beginning?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This is fun, very spontaneous.
Yes.
That's
called her an hour ago. I was like, Gitty, come over. We're going to do a video.
The best things happen when it's let's just do it.
That's
okay,
it.
great, I'm coming. So, how did it all begin? I don't even know where to take you. How far back? Okay.
You guys started 15 years ago?
Yeah,
Does that sound
about 15
right?
years ago. My husband was studying in the Chavetz Chaim Yeshiva in Queens. And I'm not, I don't come from a Chavetz Chaim family. I kind of feel like I married in. So, everything was so new to me. And I was married 5 years. We had 3 little kids. And my husband was, trying to share his day with me. And how much can you share with Gemara? And I said, I don't really care what you share.
No.
You could talk to me about the squirrel that ran up the tree. You can talk to me about absolutely anything. I need adult conversation. I was a Mora at the time, and I just needed to have someone talk to me at the end of my day. So my husband came really excited one day. I've actually really exciting news, beyond the squirrels and the birds that I saw today. I'm like, oh yay, share with me. So he said, I really, the Rosh Hashiva mentioned to people that already got their smicha that there are a couple communities that are ready for a day school. And I'm listening. I'm keep talking. What else? And where? And he mentioned some places that were really cold, and also Orlando. And he just mentioned, I wonder who's gonna end up there. I wonder which one of my friends are gonna move there. And I was like, are you kidding me? Pinch me now. I'm packing.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm out. Queens, we had a two-bedroom apartment, 1 bathroom, 3 little kids. It was
squishy.
They say that the Rosh Hashiva chose Queens so that everyone is itching to get out and spread Torah. It's the joke. Well, you know what? I was ready. So my husband was like, I didn't get my smicha yet. I'm like, it's fine. How many of us became mothers? We weren't mothers yet.
That's right. That's how it works.
We can do this. So I wouldn't stop bugging him. And I said, listen, just please go to the rabbi, speak to your Rosh Hashiva, and tell him that your wife is nuts. And she just is really excited about this idea. Yeah. Whatever he says. Yeah. If he says no, I'll have no choice. But let's just try. So I really put in my whole heart into I hope this rabbi says that it's a good idea. Turns out not too many people wanted the job.
Oh, they didn't want to come to Florida?
Because there was no infrastructure.
There was nothing.
I didn't know the difference between this and that. Again, I wasn't raised with this.
It's a little different than Queens down here.
I just thought we're going to a place with sunshine. My first reaction was, how could this not be a frum community yet?
Yeah.
It is so close to Disney and Miami and Boca.
No,
anyone who was, let's say, raised in Miami but doesn't want to live there, or the housing is too expensive there, the houses here, a 5-bedroom at the time, was in the high twos. It was maybe 250, 260. 6 years ago even, I got my 5-bedroom house for $330, and we thought we were being ripped off.
You can't get those numbers.
Nothing.
Now. You can't get those numbers.
You can get $350 or $330 if it was a tear down.
Totally
burnt. A burnt down house went for $350 just about a year ago.
That's right.
So, oh my gosh. So I was just very excited for the opportunity, and Orlando just
It's needed a community here.
It was like, yes, it's so ready. It's gonna. My vision was it's going to be a beautiful community, lots of little children running around, a beautiful school. You know, like it's just my husband's real dream was to open base medrash.
Oh wow.
This was like totally I totally like curveballed on him.
You guys are getting there. You now have an elementary school. You have a girls' high school. And I think you opened a yeshiva this year.
A boys' high school.
A boys' high school. A boys' high school.
And last week we had a recruitment Shabbaton. I had 9 boys around my table. Some of them I taught them when they were 2 years old, and now they're in 8th grade. I was like, oh my gosh.
So you now have all the schools. You have
We're
the elementary, you have middle school, you have high school.
The girls' high school, we need the boys' high school.
You're working on it.
We're working on it.
Working on
we
it.
currently have one 9th grade student, and we would like to have more for him next year, and for the current 8th graders. So we're working on that. But going back, my husband came home the next day or two, and he's like, the Rosh Hashiva thinks it might be a good idea. This is great. Now I was like davening that like I get picked. I didn't realize there was like not too many people that Hashem loves me so much, no competition.
That's it. He wanted you here in Florida. They needed you here.
So the rest is history. My husband, partnered up with Rabbi Waxman. And they're an excellent partnership. And Baruch Hashem, like they came a few times throughout that year to see if there was like really an interest.
Yeah.
And we opened with like, I think 12 students, and 6 of them were between us and Waxman, and the other 6 were actual students. We're talking like 5 families total, but like you have to start somewhere.
But you're like 200 students now?
Yeah, now we're over 200. So it's from the ages of like 18 months till...
Oh, so this community has grown a huge amount. So Gitty, first of all, I just want to mention that you and I have both done food and houses because, I flip houses and pancakes.
Yes.
But Gitty, before you were a real estate agent, you were a caterer in town.
Yeah.
And you still occasionally cater?
It's interesting. Sometimes we don't sell a house every day, but food is always needed. So sometimes I'm like, it's a boring week. Why not?
Okay, yeah. So if you're on her social media, she sometimes will pop up and be like, hey, I'm catering this week. So just keep that in mind. I heard her food is really delicious. But you became a real estate agent here in Orlando. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I know you show a lot of houses. You take a lot of people. She will knock on every door. You gues, she knocks on every door.
It's been a New Year's resolution for, I think, 4 years now. I keep renewing.
Every door. And you pass out like a challah. She bakes challah, gives it to all the neighbors, and
they love it. I tell them, if you're thinking of selling or buying, you challah at me, and it's like so corny, but they love it. They all laugh. They think it's great, and then they do. They call me like a few years later. Remember, you brought me a challah. It was so delicious. Well, we're thinking of selling, and I'm like, great. I'll be right over.
That's right. That's right. So, what kind of change have you seen? You said that obviously when you bought here, the market was in the upper 2s. What has happened since, I would say probably since 2020? What has happened in
the COVID really spiked everything?
Very much. What has happened in kind of the real estate values? What the market, is it a seller market down here? Because I know it's a very different market than up in Baltimore.
Oh, really? So here, definitely still a seller's market, but I need to remind my sellers that just because it's a seller's market doesn't mean we can, the house's value is still gonna be off of the appraiser's value. Like we can't jump and I want $800,000 for my house because it's a seller's market. It's not gonna work. So the reason why I say it's a seller's market is because the rates are high and it's very hard for buyers to purchase homes now, and people are holding on to their homes as much as they can just to keep it in the family because finances are so tight.
But they don't want to sell.
Homeowners don't want to sell. If they can just keep it in the family, then they really, really do. They try to hold on to it as much as they can. But if they feel like they need to relocate and they need that money to buy something else or whatever, then they do sell. But because there's less houses on the market, that makes it the seller's market. There's more of a need, there are more buyers than houses.
There are more buyers than houses.
And when the houses pop up, we pray that they are being reasonable. Otherwise, it's not considered a house. It's not even an option. Buyers won't come.
So what would you consider maybe an average price in this neighborhood?
A 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom could sell. It depends on the condition, but it could sell for about $550 at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm talking
it was up in the 6s at some point, right?
Yes. Well, things spiked with COVID,
Right.
it was even more than 6. And some houses will go up to, like, if I get like a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, split level house, that could easily go for $650, even if it needs to be renovated inside.
Oh, wow.
Easy $650.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously, and this neighborhood is actually the cheaper neighborhood because right, like all surrounding this area, you have these big monster, beautiful houses that are million
on the
$2
golf
million
course, like
championship
gorgeous
golf courses. We're
Yeah.
we're literally in this neighborhood is literally maybe 5 minutes from Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Something like
it's
that.
like literally
Like
right down the block.
10 minutes
Yeah.
to Disney Springs, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like in the heart of everything. You don't need a highway to get anywhere.
Right.
Even the airport. Guess what? You don't even need the highway to get to the airport.
Teach me your tricks.
It's just Sand Lake. You just take Sand Lake straight down.
That's crazy. We'll talk
so-
about that later.
So easy. Yeah, so this is like a really prime neighborhood. It's not one of the. I know you also have real estate that you sell down in like the Reunion and Champions Gate in those like
Eden Garden,
the vacation
yes.
neighborhoods. This is like a live here and enjoy the space neighborhood.
Yeah, this is more like real residential. So you're gonna have like the CVS right down the block. You're gonna have your Walmart down the block. You're gonna have your cleaners right. Everything is right here.
Right.
And like you said, because it's nestled right in the middle of like luxury communities around us, all gated in. Our community is not gated. It's very like free in and out. But because we are nestled right in the middle of everything, we have their amenities. We'll have the really nice gyms right down there. We'll have the beautiful Publix. We'll have the beautiful, you know,
Right.
like the
Everything is
amazing public
nice and
schools are,
new.
you know, everything is like,
Right.
really nice. But most of the homes in this community don't have an HOA, and all of those beautiful luxury
That's
home
right, they do have an
communities, they
HOA.
all have an HOA. So there's about 126 homes in our community that do have an HOA. But for the most part, out of 1,311 homes,
She knows.
I know
the
because
numbers.
I'm knocking on their doors. We most of us don't have an HOA, which is really nice. If you have a RV trailer you want to put on the side, or a few cars that you just want to park in the back, you can pave your entire backyard and keep 5 cars back there. If you know,
Right, if you want to.
you do whatever you want. Like nobody's, you don't have that. You know, someone gonna knock on your door saying, "I'm sorry, this is not following the HOA rules." And the only thing, those 126 homes that are in the HOA, the biggest thing about, like, the biggest restriction is that they have to live in their home for 2 years before they rent it out. So it's not like a huge deal. The other communities that do have HOAs, I don't know, there's restrictions on like what color you paint your house and
Right, everything.
all sorts. You got to bring your garbage back, or they'll probably take it away from you. I was in a house a few years ago, like when we first started out here, and I didn't bring my garbage bin back. I was a full-time teacher. Who has time for that? And I came home one day, and the guy was like, HOA, you know, supervisor was like taking my trash bin. I'm like, get back over here. What are you talking about? Like, I've got 3 little kids and I work full time.
Like,
Like,
should have just put it back for you.
oh my
That's what they should have
gosh.
done.
Oh my gosh. Leave me a little note. Like, oh my gosh.
So I've noticed that unlike in Baltimore, you don't have basements.
Okay.
You don't have basements here. Is that everywhere in Florida, or just like, or everywhere in Orlando, or just here in this neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's everywhere in Orlando. I have a house in Ocala that has a basement.
Wow.
It's like a big deal. Like, it's an hour and a half drive from here.
Oh.
So yeah, everything here, I haven't seen a basement ever. But the way people look at basements, like wherever you're from and you have a basement, is like you think about like potential. I can make a guest room, I could do a bathroom, I can make an office, right? Okay. We have that vision when we walk into our garage. Our garage is usually 2-car garage, and many people in this community have already, some with permits, some without permits. I won't tell. I don't know anything. They've already made their garage into like 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Oh wow.
Or a separate unit. Like literally little apartment of like kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, washer, dryer,
Okay.
and then it's an income producing little piece.
Little space.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
Or a mother-in-law suite or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
plenty
Very
of people
nice.
have done that.
Very
So
nice.
yeah,
And-
no basement, but I actually like it because it keeps everything on one floor. Who likes to go up and down?
Yeah, you don't have to go up and down the stairs. So
I'll
that's good.
figure
But
out where to get my steps.
there are some houses that have second stories.
Yes.
There are some houses that have second stories. There are not a lot of the giant 12-bedroom houses here. Those are more down in like the Champions
Yeah,
Gate.
that's
in
If you're
that
looking for one of
neighborhood.
those, I've got Encore, Eden Gardens. You
Ask
just
them.
holla at me. But But for the most part, this area is, even the split level homes, I have a split level, the downstairs is the first floor.
Right, you go up, but you obviously don't go down.
There's no down. That's the first floor, right.
And a lot of them do have these special things back here called swimming pools, which is
so nice.
Something that people have up in the Northeast, and you can use it most of the year. Well, no, you can use it like 3 months out of the year. Here you can use it most of the year, and if you have pool heat, just this week you can't use it. It's like 40 degrees.
Right.
But normally, even if you have pool heat, you can use your pool like year round. So that's a really special thing to have down here in Florida, and I'm sure that adds to your property values as well.
It does. However, the perks of like buying a home without a pool, I get very excited when I don't see a pool, because you can actually extend your house. These properties here most of them are huge lots, like a quarter of an acre. They're oversized lots. So if you don't have a pool, then you can extend the house first. All of these properties are like max, you're going to add, say, 2,500 square feet.
Okay, so not big.
So you have oversized lots, little cottage.
Right.
So we're always thinking of how to maximize the space that we're given. Like, let's use the square footage that we have. But sometimes a family from out of town that they're not used to this tiny little house, it's too small for them for the full time living here. They're always thinking like, I can't do it. And my suggestion is, if you can make the payments and you can afford the mortgage, even with the rates the way they are, you get the house, and hopefully the rates will change. Hopefully, things will get easier, but you get the house the way it is, because if things keep going up, then your house is going up too, and then it makes it more and more difficult to buy.
That's right. You'll get priced out of it.
It becomes impossible. So you get the house, and you can just, do your small little projects, but one day, when you're able to, you can extend. I love the possibility of dreaming,
For sure. Like, you always want to have that potential.
Yeah.
Every time we go into a house, I always look for the potential of what it could be, and not necessarily what it currently is. You've seen my houses; they're not usually so great when you first walk in.
Okay.
All right, that was really interesting. Okay, you guys, if you're interested in coming to see the Orlando community and buying a house here, or a piece of property, a condo, anything like that, this is the lady to call. You want to call Mrs. Gitty Schepansky. I will tag her so you can find her here, and you can give her a challah.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you, Gitty, for coming and joining me outside in the cold, just so we could see the pool. So we knew that it's Florida. You had to know it was Florida, because inside it's the same as anywhere else, but outside is Florida. So thank you, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so you find out every time I upload a video, and as always, check out my website, flippinghouseandpancakes.com.